Alright, here's how to sew a button on by hand, the method shown by Kenneth T. King that he learned in Tailor school. I've never been to Tailor school, but I've learned a lot from Kenneth T. King's craftsy videos. So you start by cutting off a length of thread that's 4 times what you ultimately want. Then you're going to take the two ends, take both ends, put them together, snip them so they're really even, maybe a little spit on there to make it easier, and thread both of those ends through the eye of the needle. Then pull that out so that you have a loop on one side and the two ends. This is confusing. Let's get that out of there. So you've got let's get all that out of there. You've got a loop on one end and the two ends raw edges on the other end. Okay. Now you want the raw ends to be sticking out a little bit. So I'm going to go like that. See how I did that? So I made these raw ends sticking out just a little bit. All right. Now I got my place for the button marked, and I'm going to go ahead and poke down from the right side and start pulling that, but I'm not going to quite pull it all the way. And then I'm going to come back up through that same spot, and then as I pull that needle up, I'm going to go put the needle through the loop to secure that. Okay, and I'm going to kind of hold these and get that. There we go. So now I've got, see how clean it is in the back? There's not going to be some big bump to rub against you on your shirt front or something. It's totally clean. I want to make it a little more secure, so I'm going to go ahead and take one more stitch. So now I've really got this anchored. Now I've got 4 strands coming out of here, and it's really anchored well. Okay, that's really strong. So now I'm ready for my button, which seems to have disappeared here somehow. Here's another one. So now I can go ahead and put my button through there. Now I don't want to just start stitching this down flat because I don't want the button to be totally plastered tight against the fabric. So I'm going to use something to kind of go around to hold that up. And in his video, Kenneth T. King uses a coffee stirrer stick. He suggests you could use a match or any object like that. I'm just going to use this biology probe, and that should do the job. Now, because I've got 4 strands of thread really strongly hooked up there, connected to the fabric, I don't have to do a lot of passes. I think in this video he only did 2 passes, which would be, as he says, the correct thread buildup. I think I'll do 3. So there we have the 3 passes. Maybe 2 is enough, because that, again, you got 8 layers. You do have to keep it from, and this thread is super twisty. That's kind of got foobarred, but I'm going to just go with it just for the sake of demonstration. Oh my goodness, why does this happen? This is why I'm really not a fan of hand stitching. But this I took thread off a bobbin, which was probably a bad idea. Okay, there, I fixed it. Oh my goodness. So anyway, don't take twisty thread off a bobbin. Do it right. So, or let your thread. The other thing you can do to avoid that when hand stitching is just hold up your project and let the needle kind of hang down. You can't see it, but I'm letting the needle hang down and unwind. And you can also wax your thread, and that'll prevent that kind of foobarring. Anyway, I could redo this video, but hey, that's real life. That's what happens. So maybe it's good to know. Maybe it's good to see, because that's real life what happens. Thread gets twisted when you're hand stitching sometimes. So anyway, so now I've got a couple passes, 2 or 3 passes through each one, and so now I can remove my little spacer, and the button's not too tight on there. So now I'm going to make my thread shank. I'm going to bring my thread back up through here, Good, it didn't tangle. Oh, a little tangle. And then I'm going to wrap it around to form the thread shank. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times. And then from there, Kempty King just secures it with a securing stitch. I kind of like to do this extra little knot. So I'm poking it through here like that. Do you like that knot too, April? There's April. What you doing, kitten? April. Hi. Is that how you like to sew yours on? She's not amused. I think it's nap time and I'm keeping her up with this video making. Anyway, that's how I like to do that. And then from there, all you gotta do is tie a little knot, and it's, you know, tie a little standard little knot to secure your threads. And you can snip it off. And you've got a beautifully sewn, well, snip it off cleaner than that. Then you've got a beautifully sewn button that is not too tight, and it's you know, got a little thread shank on there, so that'll make it easy to get in and out of the buttonholes. Don't use fluorescent orange, of course. All right, bye. Hope that helps.